Okay, so these are the different parts of the stomach. It's a J-shaped structure. Okay, located in the epigastric, umbilical, and left hypochondriac region. The different parts are fundus, body, and pylorus. The lesser curvature, the greater curvature. Okay, the blood supply is mainly by means of these two arteries, gastric artery and gastroepiploic artery. Okay, gastric artery, gastric artery and gastroepiploic artery. Okay. The next one is the small intestine. The small intestine, it is approximately 5 meters. Okay, it is approximately so long. Okay, the small intestine. Okay, and is divided into duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. After the stomach pylorus part, next comes the duodenum. After duodenum, it is the jejunum, and after jejunum, it is the ileum. Okay, so the three parts of the small intestine. The duodenum is approximately 25 centimeters and is C-shaped. Okay, it is roughly in the form of the letter C. Okay, it curves around the head of pancreas. You know that there is a gland called as pancreas. It curves around the pancreas. Okay, and there are four parts. You can divide the duodenum into four parts. The first part, the second part, the third part, and the fourth part. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are four parts of the duodenum. Now, the most important thing in duodenum is the duodenal papilla. Okay, in the second part of the duodenum, you can see a small opening. Okay, you can see a small opening, and this is called as duodenal papilla. Okay, what is this opening? So here there comes the secretion from the bile and the pancreas. Okay, the secretions from the bile and the pancreas are poured into the duodenum. Okay, as I said before, there are some accessory GI organs. Okay, so one of them is the gallbladder and pancreas. So their secretions come to the second part of the duodenum through the duodenal papilla. Okay, through the duodenal papilla. Okay, so the duodenum, it's a C-shaped structure. We can divide it into four parts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the second part, there is a duodenal papilla into which the bile and the pancreatic secretions, they come out. Okay, the next one is jejunum and ileum. Okay, the jejunum is approximately 2 meters and ileum is approximately 3 meters. Okay, the ileum ends in the ileocecal valve. How to identify the jejunum and ileum? Usually there will be permanent circular folds. When you open up the jejunum, you will be able to see circular folds. Okay, and microscopically you will be able to see the villi. Okay, you will be able to see the villi and Peyer's patches. The Peyer's patches are exclusively present only in the ileum. Okay, the Peyer's patches are present only in the ileum. Okay, so here you can see this is the small intestine, and inside the small intestine you can see that there are circular folds. Okay, and inside the circular folds, if you just zoom in, okay, only the particular part, you can see a finger-like projection. These finger-like projections, they are called as villi. Okay, they are called as villi. So one of the villi is shown big here. Okay, and in the ileum, there are some lymphoid follicles which are called as Peyer's patches. Okay, Peyer's patches. Okay, So the small intestine, it's composed of duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, the jejunum is approximately 2 meters, and the ileum is approximately 3 meters, and it ends in ileocecal valve. There is a permanent circular fold on the top of which there are small villi. Okay, and in ileum you can find the Peyer's patches. Okay, the next one is the large intestine. The large intestine, it is 1.5 meters long approximately, and it starts with the cecum and the appendix. After the ileum, the ileal contents come to the cecum. This part is called a cecum. Okay, cecum, and from the lowermost part of the cecum is the appendix. So cecum and appendix. Okay, then after the cecum, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon. Okay, so ascending, transverse, descending colon. Okay, then comes the sigmoid colon. Okay, because it is S shaped, it's called as sigmoid. Okay, the sigmoid colon. Okay, so after the ileum, cecum, and appendix both together, usually the food will not enter into the appendix. It's a vestigial organ. Vestigial means like it is not functional in humans. Okay, so in humans it is not functional. And from the cecum, the food enters into the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and sigmoid colon. Okay, then comes after sigmoid colon becomes the rectum and the anal canal. Okay, that we will see later. Okay, so the large intestine is composed of these parts. How to identify the large intestine? Okay, when you look into the large intestine, they have some specific feature. Like the small intestines, they are having villi. The large intestines, they have tinea coli. Okay, so this part is called as tinea coli. You can see a straight muscle, right? So this straight muscle here, this is called as tinea coli. Okay, now, and it also has got appendices epiploicae. Appendices epiploicae. What is this appendices epiploicae? You can see some yellow pockets of fat. Okay, you can see these yellow pockets of fat which are present in the large intestine. These are called as appendices epiploicae. Okay, appendices epiploicae. The next one is the hostrations. Okay, the hostration is, you can see it is not like a normal tube. There is an enlargement and then it constricts. Enlargement, constricts. Enlargement, it constricts. So these are called as hostrations. Okay, so these hostrations, okay, are also characteristic feature of large intestine. Okay, so the large intestine, cecum and appendix, ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid colon. And how do we identify? We identify it by the presence of tinea coli, the presence of appendices epiploicae, and hostrations. Okay, and hostrations. So these are the different parts of the large intestine. Now we'll come to the
Doctor, where is exactly the sigmoid colon?
This is the sigmoid colon. After until this is the descending colon. After this, you can see a curved portion, right? Between the descending colon, like an S-shaped one. This is the sigmoid colon.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Okay, welcome. The next one is rectum and anal canal. Okay, so this is the final passage of the food material. All the waste materials are collected in the rectum. Okay, and it is continuous with that of the sigmoid. So all the waste materials, the stool, they get collected in the rectum, and once the rectum is full, the person gets the feeling of going to the washroom, okay, and the process of defecation starts. The stool passes through the anal canal, okay, the anal canal. Okay, the anal canal, it is approximately 4 centimeters, that is 3.8 centimeters. Okay, so approximately 4 centimeters, and is controlled by two muscles, an internal sphincter and external sphincter. Okay, you can see the internal sphincter and the external sphincter. Okay, the internal sphincter is involuntary. Okay, it's involuntary. Involuntary means we cannot control it. Whereas the external sphincter is voluntary. Okay, so the external sphincter is voluntary. So what happens when the waste materials get collected in the rectum? Okay, so the rectum, when it is full, the involuntary muscle, the internal sphincter of the anal canal, they relax. Okay, so then the person knows that he wants to go to the washroom. Okay, so he knows that he wants to go to the washroom. And what happens once he goes to the washroom? Then the external sphincter, because the external sphincter, he can control it. Okay, then the external sphincter, okay, works. Okay, it relaxes. Okay, and then the act of defecation occurs. All right, so the rectum and the anal canal. Rectum is continuous with that of sigmoid colon. That's the place where the stools is stored. The next is anal canal, which is approximately 4 centimeters. Okay, it has got an internal sphincter and an external sphincter. Okay, the internal is involuntary and external is voluntary. Now let's see the accessory GI organs. The accessory GI organs, the first one we are going to see is the pancreas. Okay, we have already seen that the pancreas is enclosing the duodenum. Okay, it's located along the C-shaped part of the duodenum, and it can be divided into head, neck, body, and tail. So there are four parts of the pancreas: head, neck, body, and tail of pancreas. It is located almost in the same location of the stomach, epigastric and left hypochondrium, but not in the umbilical. Okay, so epigastric and left hypochondrium. And the pancreas, it secretes enzymes, and these enzymes open into the second part of the duodenum through major and minor pancreatic duct. Okay, so there is a major pancreatic duct and minor pancreatic duct. So both of them opens into the second part of the duodenum. Okay, so where they pour the pancreatic contents. Okay, the pancreatic contents. The next one, the major duct. Okay, it's usually joins with the biliary duct. Okay, and opens into the duodenal papilla. This also we have seen in duodenum, right? Through the duodenal papillae, the biliary duct and the major pancreatic duct, they both join together and open at this second part of the duodenum. Okay, the minor pancreatic duct opens separately, but the major pancreatic duct joins with the biliary duct, and then they open into the second part of the duodenum. The next organ is the liver. Liver is the largest gland. Okay, it is the largest gland, and it mainly occupies right hypochondrium, epigastrium, and a small portion of the left hypochondrium as well. Okay, so it mainly occupies the right hypochondrium, okay, the epigastrium, and a small portion on the left side, which is left hypochondrium. Okay, it has got four lobes: right lobe, left lobe, and behind there is caudate and quadrate. Okay, there is caudate lobe and quadrate lobe. Okay, and in the center there is called as hilum of the liver, just like the hilum of the lungs. Okay, so there is hilum of the liver, and it is also called as portal fissure. Okay, it's also called as portal fissure. Okay, and here enters the portal vein, hepatic artery, and hepatic duct. Okay, so the portal vein, hepatic artery, and you can see a small greenish structure which is the common bile duct. Okay, or the hepatic duct, which further divides into hepatic duct. I will tell about the hepatic duct what it is in the next slide. Okay. Okay, so the liver is the largest gland occupying the right and the left hypochondrium as well as the epigastric region. It has got four lobes: right lobe, left lobe, caudate lobe, and quadrate lobe. In the center, there is portal fissure through which the portal vein passes, hepatic artery, and hepatic duct. So the three structures are located in the hilum of the liver, also called as portal fissure. Any doubts until now? Okay. The next one. Okay, the gallbladder and the biliary tree. Okay, the gallbladder and the biliary tree. The gallbladder, it is pear-shaped structure. It's a pear-shaped structure. Okay, located in the posterior surface of the liver. Okay, here you can see the posterior part of the liver, the gallbladder is located. Okay, now the gallbladder has got fundus, body, and cystic duct. Okay, so the lowermost part is called as fundus. This part is called as the body. Okay, and from the body there comes a small duct, and this duct is called as cystic duct. Okay, so the gallbladder is pear-shaped, located in the posterior surface of the liver. It has got fundus, body, and the small duct which is called as cystic duct. Okay, the cystic duct. Now, what is the function of this biliary, the gallbladder? Okay, it is actually physiology, which you will be learning it next year. But for you to understand, I'm telling it now. Okay, so mainly the gallbladder stores bile. Okay, they store a chemical called as bile. Okay, where does this bile come from? The bile is actually produced in the liver. Okay, the bile is actually produced in the liver. Okay, and this bile comes and gets stored in the gallbladder. So gallbladder is nothing like a storage organ. Okay, it stores the bile. Okay, it stores the bile. Okay, now what is the function of this bile? Why people we require bile? Whenever we eat a fatty food, okay, the normal food like the proteins, okay, the carbohydrates, they can be broken down by the pancreatic enzymes as well as by the gastric enzymes. Okay, but the fat is quite difficult. It's a bit oily, right? So it is very difficult to break the fat, okay, and also to absorb the fat because the fat molecules are quite big. Okay, it is very difficult to absorb them. So what happens when we eat fat, when the fatty substance enters into the stomach and then the duodenum, okay, what happens? The intestine recognizes that there is fat, okay, and then it orders the gallbladder to secrete the bile. Now this bile comes down, okay, and meets the fatty substance and breaks down into smaller and smaller molecules so that the fat can be absorbed. Okay, the body also needs fat, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Okay, so normal amount of fat is required by the human body. Okay, so when the fat enters into the duodenum, so what happens? The fat molecules are broken down into small pieces by the bile, and then they are absorbed through the villi. Okay, so that is the function of bile. Now I said that the bile is produced in the liver, right? how does the bile come to the duodenum? Now here you can see there are some ducts which come from the liver. These are called as
Doctor, your voice is cutting.
We cannot hear you.
Sir, we can't hear you. Your voice is lagging.
where دكتور go? وين راح الدكتور؟
كورونا.
وين كورونا؟
بالجامعة.
ناتالي انت صاحية؟
للأسف.
أمس ليش ما جيتي؟
لأنه أكيد ما حأجي. تسنيم راحت يوم ورجعت معها كورونا، وبكرة ما حأجي.
مسكينة تسنيم الله يشفيها.
Are you able to hear?
Yes.
Yes, now yes.
Oh, when was it disconnected? I was not sure.
It was like 2 minutes before you left the meeting.
Okay. Until which part can it be specific? Were you able to listen to the whole class? Did you listen to the spleen?
Yeah. No. We didn't get this part yet.
How about this one?
Doctor, are you presenting something? We cannot see.
Oh, you cannot see also. Okay, just a second. So this one was over, right?
Yes, we done this. The next slide.
This one? Pancreas?
Also done. We stopped in the
Is it done?
We're still here.
Okay, gallbladder.
Yes.
Okay. The gallbladder, as I said, it's a pear-shaped structure. I was revising it twice. Now this is the third time I'm doing it. Okay. So the gallbladder, it's a pear-shaped structure. Okay, and it has got fundus, body, okay, and the cystic duct, okay, located in the posterior surface of the liver. Okay, so here you can see the posterior part of the liver, the gallbladder is present. Okay, now from here, the gallbladder, there is cystic duct. Okay, so they contain bile. Okay, they contain bile. Okay, let me know if you are getting disconnected. Okay, I will so that if there are any doubts, you just let me know. Okay, if it is getting disconnected or if my voice is getting slowed down or lagging, you just let me know. Okay.
Doctor,
Okay.
doctor.
Yes.
Yesterday I didn't come to the university, so the lecture that we took yesterday, how can I access it? Or
I'll discuss it later. Okay, so now we'll finish off this today's class. Okay. So
okay.
the gallbladder. Okay, so this it stores the bile. Now, where does it is storing the bile? Where does this bile come from? The bile is produced in the liver. Okay, so the bile from the liver comes through the right and left hepatic duct. These two hepatic duct joins together to form the common hepatic duct. The common hepatic duct then joins with the cystic duct to form the common bile duct. Okay, the common bile duct then comes down, then it joins with the major pancreatic duct and opens through the duodenal papilla in the second part of the duodenum. Okay, so whenever we eat a fatty substance, what happens? The gallbladder contracts and the bile which is stored is coming out through the cystic duct, the common bile duct, then it gets mixed with the pancreatic secretions and open in the second part of the duodenum. Okay, it opens into the second part of the duodenum. All right. So this is regarding the gallbladder and the biliary tree. Okay, so this is important. Remember, common hepatic duct and common bile duct. They are entirely different. From the liver, what comes is the common hepatic duct. The common hepatic duct joins with the cystic duct, which is coming from the gallbladder, and then they form the common bile duct. Okay, the last structure is the spleen. It's located in the left hypochondrium, supplied mainly by the splenic artery, and these are all the functions. It is a lymphatic organ. Okay, it is also in your TBL. Okay, in your upcoming TBL, this is included. Okay, so there is a storage. Main functions is storage of blood, destruction of old cells, contains lymphocytes and hemopoiesis. Okay, so these are the functions of the spleen. Okay, so mainly located in the left hypochondrium. Okay, so today we saw duodenum, from the stomach. Okay, where is it located? The different parts of the stomach and the blood supply. Okay, the small intestine, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. We have seen the different parts of the duodenum 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the second part, mainly the duodenal papilla is present, major duodenal papilla. And this one is the minor duodenal papilla. The major duodenal papilla, where the pancreatic and the common bile duct, they join together and then they open. Okay, where the biliary and the pancreatic secretions, they come. The jejunum is 2 and ileum is 3 meters long. Okay, and they have permanent circular folds on the top of which there are small finger-like projections which are called as villi, which is helpful for absorption. Okay, and in the ileum there are Peyer's patches. Okay, there are Peyer's patches. The large intestine starts with cecum and appendix. Cecum, and this is appendix. Ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid colons. Okay, how to identify? There is Taenia coli, appendices epiploicae, and hostrations. Okay, the rectum and anal canal. Okay, the rectum where the stools are getting stored. Okay, continuous with that of sigmoid colon. Once the rectum is full, the involuntary anal sphincter, they relax. Okay, the internal anal sphincter, which is involuntary, They relax, the person senses, and then he goes to the washroom where the act of defecation occurs after relaxation of the external anal sphincter, which is under voluntary control. Pancreas has got head, neck, body, and tail present in the C-shaped part of the duodenum, located in epigastric and left hypochondrium, and it has got major and minor pancreatic duct. The major duct joins the common bile duct to open into the duodenal papilla, the second part of duodenum. The liver is the largest gland, located mainly in the right hypochondrium and epigastrium, can extend into the left hypochondrium as well. Four lobes, right, left, caudate and quadrate, and there is a portal fissure through which portal vein, hepatic artery and hepatic duct goes through. The gallbladder, where the bile is stored, located posterior surface of the liver. Okay, so the biliary tree comes from the hepatic ducts. They join together to form the common hepatic duct, which joins with the cystic duct to form the common bile duct. The common bile duct then joins with the major pancreatic duct and opens into the second part of the duodenum through the duodenal papilla. And lastly, the spleen, located in the left hypochondrium, supplied by the splenic artery. Okay? Any doubts? Do you have any doubts?
It's clear.